Houthi Yemen has attacked and sunk 2 ships in the Red Sea in the last 48 hours. And we're going to provide the news and the analysis without the Western spin, the stupid spin. Stick around if you care. Otherwise, go watch BBC, I don't know. Now, the Red Sea just witnessed its deadliest shipping attacks in over a year as Yemen's Houthi forces sank 2 cargo vessels within just 2 days, sending shockwaves through global maritime trade, sea trade. Businesses, after all, can't exactly afford these massive cargo ships sinking on en route to wherever they're going. The Magic Seas and Eternity Sea both now lie at the bottom of one of the world's busiest shipping corridors, joining the Titanic and all kinds of other ships in the Red Sea, with at least 4 sailors confirmed to have lost their lives even. Now, this isn't business as usual. I have to say, Yemen has not been attacking and shipping. Attacking and shipping? Oh, my brain. Yemen has not been attacking and sinking ships this last 6 months to a year. The US agreed a ceasefire with Houthi Yemen, leaving I can't talk today. Wow, leaving Israel out of it. And that largely stopped these attacks about 6 months to a year ago. But this double sinking, it's a seismic shift, a huge shift that could reshape the world in terms of how goods are moved in and out of regions. The Houthis released detailed footage showing their fighters boarding the abandoned Magic Seas before detonating explosives that sent the massive bulk carrier to the seabed. Very similar to how some of their first footage came out when they were, flying in with a helicopter with a Yemeni flag on the underside, and it was sort of GoPro cams while they were sort of running around COD style. It was anyway. This coordinated assault involved drone boats, missiles, and rocket-propelled grenades. Yes, we have drone boats now. Drone boats. Yeah? Anyway, a sophisticated operation was carried out that demonstrates Yemen's growing naval capabilities despite the state being poor and the US and Israel bombing their port and parts of their cities and their territory, Houthi Yemen's territory, throughout the last couple of years. That's apparently done nothing, or at least has not dissuaded them from attacking. What makes this attack even more significant is the timing. How did they do it, and why now specifically, you may be wondering. Now, these attacks shattered months of relative calm in the Red Sea. But now, why now exactly? Well, it's likely to put additional pressure on the Israeli state at a time when it's facing pressure from many directions, and Houthi Yemen sort of just wants to pile in on it. Iran's getting Chinese air defenses and fighter jets. My other videos will cover that. And the EU are even talking about sanctions on Israel. The EU, right? The traditional allies, of course, of the Israeli state. Though pro-Israel fanboy Germany and co are unlikely to let anything really happen, Austria, Czech Republic, they're unlikely to allow the EU as a bloc to impose sanctions. But there's talk, right, that which is far beyond what Israel could have ever expected from the traditional allies just a couple of years ago. Now, the Houthis are considering putting added pressure on Israel now. And how exactly are they doing it? Well, reports suggest that US Navy were busy, get this, defending their own ships from Yemeni drone attacks, meaning they were too preoccupied trying to swat drones out of the sky, flying around their own ships, and therefore they couldn't patrol the sea and stop these ships from being boarded and attacked and boarded and sunk. Now, why these 2 vessels, the Magic Seas and Eternity Sea? Why exactly? Were they special Israeli, vessels? Well, the Houthis say they're targeting vessels linked to Israel in solidarity with Gaza. But their definition of linked appears to be expanding dramatically now. Both ships were Greek-owned with Liberian flags, carrying cargo from China. So none of that sounds Israeli. Hardly obvious Israeli connections. But the linked definition is broad, but also simple. According to Yemen, any company that trades with Israel, their ships are fair game. Any ship that's been to Israel before, any company that sends ships to Israel or has in the last year, but we're talking about another ship, let's say, that doesn't go to Israel, fair game, according to them, right? Even if those ships aren't specifically headed to Israel right now, fair game. It's an attempt by Yemen, basically, to tighten the noose and dissuade companies from trading with Israel at all. They want a blockade, essentially, against the Israeli state, at least as much as Yemen can manage a blockade attempt. Now, whether or not it actually works remains to be seen. The economic implications, though, are staggering, not just for Israel. The corridor normally, Red Sea corridor, normally sees $1 trillion worth of goods pass through it annually. Already, shipping companies are rerouting around Africa again, adding, I believe, 10,000 or 11,000 miles and 10 days journey time per ship. Fuel costs alone jump by about $1 million per ship in terms of the cost of the fuel to run it that long route around. But here's what's really concerning, because that everything I've mentioned in the last 5 minutes is not concerning apparently. But here's the most concerning part: the Houthis have proven. Concerning was framing, isn't it? The Houthis have proven they can strike anywhere, essentially, in this vast waterway with precision and with lethality. The Red Sea has become a narrow choke point, right? The Bab al-Mandeb Strait, by the way, which is narrow, even there, the US has not been able to, the US-led task force has not seemed to be capable of stopping these Red Sea assaults. Israel responded with, after these sinkings, they responded with airstrikes on Yemeni ports, escalating tensions even further. But these are unlikely to stop the Yemenis from continuing their strikes. They didn't stop them before, very unlikely to stop them now. As regional sides now choose, as regional powers, choose sides in this conflict, because there's a sort of drifting this way or that way in terms of supporting or decrying what Yemen is doing or staying silent. The Red Sea crisis does threaten to spiral into something far bigger than just a trade disruption. It's an agitation that might lead to something more. At the moment, it's not led to much else. But if there is further news on it, I will be here to report it to you. And the analysis, unbiased and without the Western spin. Subscribe to my YouTube for content on there, including these videos on there if you want to watch it on YouTube rather than TikTok. Link in my TikTok bio. Otherwise, I'm Mahfouz, and I'll see you guys on the next one.